Good morning, students. So today I welcome you on today's class, that is on Unit 3 Hydraulic Turbine and Centrifugal Pump. Our today's lecture consists of radial flow reaction turbine, followed by main parts of radial flow reaction turbine, velocity triangle, and work done for radial flow reaction turbine, important definition related to reaction turbine, and if time permits, we will solve some numerical related to that. Okay, so let's start with radial flow reaction turbine. Why it is called radial flow? Okay, because water flows in radial direction, means during the flow of water, either its distance from the center will increase or its distance from the center will increase or decrease, and then it is called radial flow turbine. Okay, this radial flow turbine can be divided into two categories. One is inward flow reaction turbine if the water flows from outer to inner part, and it is called outward flow radial turbine if water flows from inner to outer side, means discharge is at outer side, then it is outward radial flow turbine, and if the discharge is at the center of the turbine, it is called inward radial flow turbine. Okay, so there are two kinds of radial flow turbine, that is inward flow and outward flow turbine. Now why it is called reaction turbine? Because while entering in the turbine, water has kinetic energy as well as pressure energy. Means in Pelton mill, what we have seen that the water contains only kinetic energy. Okay, that but in reaction turbine, the water possesses kinetic energy as well as pressure energy. It means that at inlet and outlet of the turbine, the pressure are different. At inlet, pressure is more, and at outlet, pressure is less. Okay, and during the travel of water on the turbine blade, its pressure continuously decreases, and that pressure energy is converted into kinetic energy. Okay, so this is called reaction turbine, where the water possesses two kind of energy at the inlet, that is kinetic energy and pressure energy. So radial flow reaction turbine, why it is called radial flow reaction turbine, I hope it is clear to you all. Next, the important component. What are the important components? There are four important components. First one is casing. In impulse turbine, casing does not play major role. It is there just to hold the water or to guide the water to a particular path so that it will get discharged in tail race. But in case of reaction turbine, casing play important role. Okay, this is the layout of radial flow reaction turbine. See, this figure shows the inward flow reaction turbine. Okay, inward flow reaction turbine can be seen that this is casing. This portion is called casing. Water from penstock comes with this portion, comes from this portion, and the water will travel in a circular path. Continuously, the gap, the diameter of the casing reduces. Okay, and during this travel, water go inside this guide vane. This portion is called guide vane. This is called runner, and runner is mounted by buckets. Okay, this is bucket, this is guide vanes, and at last, it is not shown in this figure. There will be a draft tube at the discharge end. So, what are the main components? Casing, runner with bucket, and here it will be guide vanes and draft tube. Okay, so this is not runner. This is guide mechanism. Okay, this is guide mechanism. So this is guide mechanism. So there are what we have seen. We have seen that there will be a casing. Okay, casing water will travel like this, and during this travel, it will get inside the guide mechanism. This portion is called guide mechanism. This outer circle is called guide mechanism, and after proper guidance, water get inside the runner, which is mounted with bucket, and after performing its work, after transforming its energy, kinetic energy and pressure energy, the water get exit through draft tube. Okay. Now why draft tube is required? Because when water get inside the runner runner, its pressure is high, and while traveling through the runner continuously, the pressure energy is converted into kinetic energy. At the outlet condition, there are chances that there are mostly chances that the pressure energy reduces below atmospheric pressure. So there will be difficulty in discharge. So to avoid this, there is a draft tube which again converts that low pressure energy into high pressure energy by reducing the kinetic energy in draft tube. What happens? Kinetic energy is again converted into pressure energy so that the outlet water will get proper discharge. Okay, so this is the working and important component of radial flow reaction turbine. Guide mechanism is mainly used to guide the water, and also there will be a conversion of energy in this guide mechanism. Next is velocity triangle. Velocity triangle is very much similar to the rest of the turbine, but slight difference between the inward flow reaction turbine and outward flow reaction turbine. There is very little difference. So in this figure, it can be seen that this cross section, inward flow reaction turbine, water comes from higher diameter outer side and it will move through guide mechanism. Okay, this is guide mechanism. This black portion is known as guide mechanism. After that, it enters the runner blade combination where it performs work. With this work, the it start rotating. The runner blade start rotating, and finally at the center, this portion, it get discharged. It get discharged through draft tube, which is not seen in this figure. So while entering through the runner, the diameter is d1 means, and while exit from the runner, this portion, the diameter is d2. So inlet diameter is more than outlet diameter. In case of inward flow reaction turbine, inlet diameter is greater than outlet diameter. Okay. Again, blade velocity we know that depend upon the diameter. In case of Pelton mill, that diameter at inlet and outlet will remain same. So there will be a same blade velocity that we have seen that U is equal to U1 is equal to U2. But here the diameter is changing. Inlet diameter is D1, outlet diameter is D2. So there will be two different blade velocity at inlet and blade velocity at outlet. Okay. So velocity triangle will be like this. Okay, this inlet is at higher diameter. This is assume this is the center of the turbine. This is the runner blade combination. This is blade. This is blade. Inlet at higher diameter from this point to this point, and outlet as lower diameter from this point to this point. Okay, so this velocity triangle is I have explained it various times that at water is coming at a velocity v1. Okay, at an angle alpha. This is called jet angle or jet angle. And suppose the initial velocity of blade is u1, so there will be a relative velocity exist vr1, which makes an angle theta. Dependent, this is theta is called blade angle at inlet, and this v1 has two components, that is tangential component and axial component, that is vw1 and vf1. At outlet, blade the direction has been changed. VR1, relative velocity will be VR2, and blade velocity at outlet is U2. So there will be absolute velocity, we get U2 and V2, and it has two components, that is VW2 and VF2. Okay, there are two components, VW2 and VF2. Depending upon the value of VW1 and VW2, we will get work performed by force developed. So maybe this figure is not very much clear to you. So I'm drawing it separately. This is inlet velocity triangle and this is outlet velocity triangle. Similar triangle we get for outward flow reaction turbine as well. But the difference is only what? Water will come from inside and it will move in the reverse direction. Means at the center portion water will come and it will travel to guide vanes, and then it will travel to moving vanes. Means guide vane will be at the inner diameter and moving vanes or blades will be at the outer diameter. The inlet diameter is D1 and outlet diameter is D2. Inlet diameter is always less than outlet diameter in case of outward flow reaction turbine. Rest velocity triangle will be same. Okay, so let's see outward flow reaction turbine. So the case will be like this. Inside there will be a guide wheel. In case of invert flow, the guide wheel will be at outside, and runner. So we are seeing outward flow reaction turbine. Here the water get inside, enter from center portion, and it will move through guide vanes which has fixed in inner portion, and then it moves to the runner which is at the outer portion. Okay, so there will be a reverse in direction, that here it can be seen that inlet diameter is smaller, that is d1, and outlet diameter is d2. So in this case the blade velocity at inlet will be less and blade velocity at outlet will be more. So there is slight change in velocity diagram. Okay, this will be the inlet which is entering at a radius r1, is smaller radius, and outlet there will be a greater radius r2, it means diameter is more. So this is the case of outward flow reaction turbine. But if you make the velocity triangle separately, there will not be any difference. The inlet velocity triangle will be look like this, and outlet velocity triangle will be look like this. Okay, the only difference is in the value of u1 and u2. In case of inward flow reaction turbine, u1 is greater than u2, and in case of outward flow reaction turbine, u2 is greater than u1. The condition is clear. It is because of the diameter. Okay, because u is equal to pi d n by 60, that we all know. Next, work done. There will not be any special formula. This what we have discussed earlier. The same work done will be like here also. That is, work done will be rho a v1 vw1 u1 plus vw2 u2. In case of Pelton wheel, this u1 and u2 were same. Okay, so this was outside the bracket. But here we have seen that inlet and outlet diameter are different, so U1 and U2 will be different. So we have to keep this with VW1 and VW2. Okay, so work done will be rho A V1 VW1 U1 plus VW2 U2. Again, this work done depend upon the value of beta, outlet angle beta, that we have already seen in case of Pelton wheel as well. If beta is an acute angle, this formula will is valid. But if once the beta is obtuse angle, BW2 will become negative, that we have already seen, and here will be a negative sign. And if beta is 0, then there will be no VW2 U2 term, because VW2 will become 0, and we have worked as rho A V1 VW1 U1. That is, beta is equal to 90 degree, and we call this condition as discharge is radial, and in this condition VW2 is 0. Okay, so we have already seen this in case of Pelton wheel. Same formula are coming here also. The difference only is there will be a difference in U1 and U2. In case of Pelton wheel, blade velocity was same at inlet and outlet, but here the blade velocity will be different because diameter is changing during the inlet and outlet condition. Now in Pelton wheel also we have seen one important formula, that is all this work are work done per second. Okay, all this work are work done per second. But if we want to calculate work done per second per unit weight of water per second, then we have to divide this with the weight of water striking the blade per second. So what will be the weight of water? Rho A V1 is the mass, multiplied by G will give you the weight of water. Okay, so rho into Q into G. This A into V1 can be replaced by Q as per continuity equation. So if we multiply rho into Q into G, we will get the weight of water striking. So rho Q will be cancelled out, and we will get this formula VW1 U1 plus VW2 U2 by G. This gives work done per second per unit weight of water per second. Now anyone can say that what will be the unit here? You can unmute yourself and you can say what will be the unit of this VW1 U1 plus VW2 U2 by G.
सर मीटर होगी.
Very good, Nikhil. So there will be a unit, that is meter. Okay, good. So now moving forward, there are certain important definition of radial flow reaction turbine, that is speed ratio. Speed ratio is U1 by under root 2GH. Again, we have flow ratio, which is VF1 by under root 2G. This all these terms will come in numerical. That's why I'm saying is discharge Q is equal to, in case of Pelton, what will be the, what was discharge? Area into velocity. Discharge का formula यही है that it is a multiplication of area into velocity. But in case of Pelton wheel, the water is coming from the jet, so we are taking area as pi by 4 d square, and d is the area of jet into v1 velocity. But here, what is happening out here? That water is getting inlet from the circumferential area, from all over the circumference. So the area will be pi into d1 into b1, that circumferential area into velocity of flow. This will give Q. So the value of P is changed here. It is pi d1 b1 vf1, and that will be equal to pi d2 b2 vf2, because we are considering that there is no loss of water when water flow from inlet to outlet condition. Okay, so Q will be pi d1 b1 vf1 is equal to pi d2 b2 vf2. This is very important formula, and it will be used in almost every numerical. Next is head available at inlet. In case of Pelton wheel, the head available is only because of the kinetic energy. In that case, h is equal to v1 square by 2g, and it is how we calculate the velocity v1, that is under root 2gh in case of Pelton wheel. But here it is reaction turbine with kinetic energy. Pressure energy will also be there. So the total head available is a sum of pressure energy and kinetic energy. Pressure at inlet P1 by rho g plus V1 square by 2g. This is the head available. This is again very important thing that we have to keep in mind. Here we cannot calculate velocity V1 by under root 2gh formula that we are doing in case of Pelton wheel, because here pressure energy is also there in addition to kinetic energy. Okay, so this is very important formula. Now, if there will be a radial flow at outlet, beta will be equal to 0 and VW2 will equal to 0. And if there is radial flow at inlet, kabhi there are chances that in numerical it is given that radial flow, consider radial flow at inlet and outlet both. So in that case, alpha will become 0 and VW1 will be 0. Okay. So this is a special case. And if you consider that there is no loss of energy, okay, during the flow of water through the veins, then total head available H, okay, this H will be the total head available, which is equal to P1 by rho g plus V1 square by 2g, total head available, minus V2 square by 2g. जिस वेलोसिटी से वाटर बाहर की तरफ जा रहा है एट आउटलेट, उसकी कुछ वेलोसिटी होगी. वी आर कंसीडरिंग एट v2, एब्सोल्यूट वेलोसिटी एट आउटलेट v2. So if we reduce this head by the head available at inlet, there will be this term will give change in head, total head at inlet, head available at outlet, and if there is no loss, then total head will be converted into work. Okay, so in case of no loss of energy, by energy balance equation, we have total head at inlet minus total head at outlet will be equal to the work that we have derived 1 by g vw1 u1 plus minus vw2 u2. This plus minus is depending upon the value of beta. Okay, so this is again very important formula. So this slide is very important. Here speed ratio for all these terms will come in numerical when we solve it. Okay, next let's start with numerical. We'll solve only 2 numerical here. Okay, so see, it looks big, but it is very easy numerical. Let's start it. An inward flow reaction turbine has external and internal diameter as 0.9 and 0.45 respectively. See, in the first line only it is given that it is inward flow reaction turbine. Means water will flow from outside and it will discharge from at the center of the turbine. Okay, so in internal inlet diameter is 0.9, external diameter is 0.9 and internal diameter is 0.4. Means D1 will be 0.9 and D2 will be 0.45, because at inward flow reaction turbine, inlet diameter is more and outlet diameter is less. Okay, so in this first line we have to decide that it is clear that diameter D1 is 0.9 and diameter D2 is 0.45. The turbine is running at 200 rpm. This will help us to evaluate the value of blade velocity, because u1 will be pi d1 n by 60 and u2 will be pi d2 n by 60. And width of the turbine at inlet is 200 mm. Width at the inlet means b1. b1 it is given 200 mm. Okay, the velocity of flow through the runner is constant and equal to 1.8 meter per second. So VF1 is equal to 1.8 meter. Okay, velocity of flow through the tunnel is constant. Yeah, it is saying that constant. That means VF1 is equal to VF2 and it is 1.8 meter per second. The guide bed angle is 10 degree. It is degree 10 degree. It means alpha is 10 degree to the tangent of the wheel, and discharge at the outlet of the turbine is radial. Listen, this is very important line. Discharge of the turbine is radial at outlet. What does it mean? It means that beta is equal to 90 degree. And if beta is equal to 90 degree, BW2 will be equal to 0. So with this, all these parameters, we can easily draw our velocity triangle. Draw inlet and outlet velocity triangle and determine the following terms. Okay. So let's move to the solution. I'm not writing here complete given condition, but still inlet diameter D1 is equal to 0.9, outlet diameter D2 is equal to 0.4, N is 2000 RPM, B1 is 0.2, velocity of flow will remain constant, guide blade angle alpha is equal to 10 degrees. Discharge of outlet is radial, it is saying, so that beta is equal to 0 degree and BW2 is equal to 0. Okay. So from this data, we can calculate the tangential velocity at inlet, that is U1 is equal to pi D1 N by 60. Okay. So D1 is 0.9, N is 200. So it will be 9.424 meter per second. Tangential velocity at outlet U2, it is U2 not U1. So U2 is equal to pi D2 N by 60. So again, it will be half of that of inlet. And this will be our velocity triangle. Okay. Velocity triangle discharges radial to beta is equal to 90 degree and BW2 is vanished from this triangle. Okay, so this is the simple velocity triangle that we have to, according to this, we have to make all the calculation. So first, what is absolute velocity of runner at inlet of the turbine? So from inlet velocity triangle, we can say that sine alpha is equal to perpendicular upon hypotenuse. From here, we cannot apply this formula that I already told that V1 is equal to under root 2GS because it is not a Pelton wheel. That formula is applicable only for impulse turbine, not for reaction turbine. In reaction turbine, the energy head available is because of kinetic energy as well as pressure energy. So V1 sine alpha is equal to VF1. Okay, sine alpha is equal to perpendicular of hypotenuse. So we get VF1, V1 sine alpha is equal to VF1, and from this formula, VF1 is given in the question 1.8, alpha is 10 degree. So we can calculate V1 as 10.365 meter per second. So first point is absolute velocity of water at inlet. Second point is velocity of whirl at inlet. So once we calculate V1, then applying tan alpha or cos alpha, whatever we can do. Suppose if I am talking about tan alpha is perpendicular upon base. So tan alpha is equal to VF1 upon BW1. Again, alpha is 10 degree, VF1 is given, so we can calculate BW1, or we can evaluate from cos alpha formula also. Cos alpha is equal to base upon hypotenuse. Here I am taking cos alpha. So base is BW1, hypotenuse is V1. So BW1 will be V1 cos alpha. Alpha is 10 degrees. So BW1 we get 10.207 meter per second. I hope it is clear. Next, relative velocity. Again, relative velocity VR1 is, look at this small triangle. This small triangle. This small triangle is a right angle triangle. Okay. Hypotenuse square is equal to perpendicular square by base square. So hypotenuse is VR1. This is VF1. Perpendicular is VF1 and base is VW1 minus U1. Everything is known apart from VR1. So applying this, VR1 is equal to under root VF1 square plus VW1 minus U1 ka whole square. Substitute all the values, we get relative velocity as 1.963 meter per second. So 3 points are over. Next is runner blade angle. Runner blade angle, whenever it is asking for theta and phi. So very simple, tan theta or cos theta, anything we can apply here. Suppose I am saying sin theta is equal to perpendicular upon hypotenuse. We know VF1, we know VR1, theta can be evaluated. If I am talking about tan theta is VF1 upon base. So base will be VW1 minus U1. Let us suppose take tan theta. Tan theta is equal to VF1 upon VW1 minus U1. All the things are known on right hand side. Substituting this, we get tan theta is equal to 2.298, and with this theta is equal to 66.48. Similar is the case with phi. What is phi? Tan phi is equal to VF2 by U2. See, outlet velocity triangle tan phi is equal to perpendicular upon this Vf2 by U2. So Vf2 it is given 1.8, U2 we have just calculated pi d2n by 67. Substituting this, we get phi is equal to 20.9 degree. Okay. Next is width of runner at outlet. It can be calculated by, we have seen that flow rate formula Q is equal to pi d1 b1 vf1 is equal to pi d2 b2 vf2. Okay. So here pi will be cancelled out. Vf1 is equal to Vf2 it is given, so it will be cancelled out. So we get d1 b1 is equal to d2 b2. We know d1, we know d2, we know b1. b2 and b easily calculated. So b2 will get 0.4 meter. Very simple. Next, mass of water flowing per second. What is the mass of water flowing per second? So once we get Q, Q की यूनिट क्या होती है? मीटर क्यूब पर सेकेंड, and mass flow rate it is kg per second. Once we get Q and we will multiply it with the density of the fluid, we get kg per second. So mass flow rate per second is equal to rho into Q. Rho we know that density of water is 1000 and Q is pi d1 b1 vf1. d1 we know, b1 we know, vf1 1.8 it is given. So substituting this, we get mass flow rate as 1017.8 kg per second. Seventh is head at inlet of the turbine head. This is very important. We have just seen this formula H minus V2 square by 2G means H is total head available at inlet. This is head available at outlet, and as it is radial flow, radial discharge, this VW2 U2 term will go. So the remaining term will be 1 by G VW1 U1. So we know V2. We can evaluate V2 because V2 is equal to VF2. So we know V2 as 1.8. VW1 and U1 we have calculated. Substituting all this, we get total head available as 9.97. Okay, this is again very simple. We have to remember the formula and we have to clear about the velocity triangle. Everything will be clear. Next, power developed. Power developed, simple formula is there, rho q into v1 u1 by 1000. As discharge is radial, so there will be no VW2 term. Substituting the formula, we get 97.9 kilowatt power. Okay. Next, hydraulic efficiency. Hydraulic efficiency will be VW1 U1 by GH, which is equal to 10.207 into 9.424 by GH. Hydraulic efficiency, the formula is this, head available and work done. So it will be coming 98.32. All are formula based problem. Just we have to remember the formula and we have to clear about velocity triangle. Okay. So there is one more numerical, but yes, Nikhil, you want to ask something? Okay, let's see one more numerical. An inward flow reaction turbine has external and internal diameter as 1 meter and 0.6 meter respectively. The hydraulic efficiency is given 90%. Head at the inlet is given 36 meter. The velocity of flow at outlet is 2.5 meter per second and discharge is radial at outlet. Again, VW2 is equal to 0. If the vane angle at outlet is 15 degree, means phi is given 15 degree, width of wheel is 100 mm at inlet and outlet. Means width will remain constant at b1 equal to b2 is equal to 100 mm. So we have to determine this thing. So again, I am writing given inlet diameter, outlet diameter. Okay. It is 0.6 meter. It is wrongly written 0.45 meter. It is 0.6 meter. Hydraulic efficiency is 90%. Head available is 36. Vf2 is equal to 2.5. It is not given here that velocity of flow at inlet and outlet are same. So Vf1 will be different from Vf2. VW2 is 0, beta is 0 as discharge is radial. Outlet angle phi is 15 degree. Width is, and the velocity triangle will remain same as the discharge is radial. Okay. So let's move to solve this problem. Hydraulic efficiency is given VW1 U1 by GH. Hydraulic efficiency 0.9 is given. G is 9.81 and head is 36. So from here we get VW1 U1 is equal to 317.85. Okay, because we don't know anything about inlet velocity triangle, so we have to calculate everything, every velocity related to that. So we have to start from here in this case, because no theta alpha is given, no v1 u1 is given, no, nothing is given, and rpm is not also not given, so we cannot calculate u1. Next, From outlet velocity triangle, tan phi is equal to Vf2 by U2. Okay, so Vf2 it is given 2.5, U2 is not given, tan phi is given 15 degrees. So from here we can get U2 as 9.33 meter per second. Now this U2 is also pi d2 n by 60. Okay, so pi d2 it is given, diameter at outlet it is given, n is unknown. So from this U2 is equal to pi d2 n by 60 we can calculate n. Okay, so the value of n is coming 296.98 rpm. With the help of this n, we can get the blade velocity at inlet, because u1 is equal to pi d1 n by 60. d1 it is given, and we have just calculated. So u1 is 15.55 meter per second. So in this case, we are doing reverse calculation, not from inlet to outlet velocity triangle, from outlet to inlet velocity triangle, because not sufficient data is given about inlet velocity triangle. So from here we get first thing u1. Now see, VW1 U1 is, we have already have one equation, that is 317.85. U1 we have calculated. From this we will get VW1 easily as 20.44 meter per second. Okay, once we get VW1, everything will be clear. We know pi d1 Vf1 is equal to pi d2 V2 Vf2. Pi will be cancelled out. It is given b1 is equal to b2, so it will be cancelled out. The things remain will be d1 Vf1 and d2 Vf. Okay, so from here Vf1 is equal to d2 by d1 into Vf2. d2 is known, d1 is known, Vf2 2.5 it is given. So from here we can get Vf1, which is Vf1 is equal to 1.5 meter per second. Once we get Vf1 and Vw1, we can calculate alpha and theta, and everything will be known about inlet velocity triangle. So let's start solving the problem now. Guide blade angle alpha, so tan alpha is equal to perpendicular upon base, that is Vf1 by Vw1. Now Vf1 is 1.5 we have calculated, Vw1 is 20.44. So with this alpha is 66.48 degree. Second, it is same RPM we have already calculated, it is 296.98. Third, runner blade angle, that is theta. Tan theta is again perpendicular upon base. Perpendicular is Vf1, base is Vw1 minus u1, that we have seen in last problem. So substituting all the values, now we are having all the values of inlet velocity triangle, we get theta is equal to 17.05 degree. Next is volume flow rate of water, Q is equal to pi d1 b1 Vf1. Only we have to remember the formula. Next is power developed. Last point is power developed. Power developed is again U1 VW1 upon GH into rho Q. Power developed is rho Q into VW1 U1 by 1000. That is the formula of hydraulic efficiency. This is rho Q VW1 U1 by 1000. So Q we have just calculated. VW1 U1 we know. So substituting all the values, we get 149.76 kilowatts. So see, in hydraulic turbine, the numericals are very easy. Just we have to remember the formula and we have to clear about velocity triangle. Every time it is given something hidden in problem, so we have to catch that hidden part from the problem, that is discharge is radial at outlet. So we have to know that beta is 90 degree and VW2 is 0. There are certain things which will be given. So with this, the numerical related to radial flow reaction turbine is completed. And the today's class is over for now, but in next class we will again see very important thing, that is two important turbine, that is Francis turbine and Kaplan turbine. So both turbine are very important, and there are very high chances that the problem numerical will come either from Francis turbine or from Kaplan turbine in your exam. So in next class I will be taking on Friday. Nikhil, if you have any doubt in this class, you can ask.
No sir, sir.
क्लियर हो रहा है, समझ में आ रहा है?
Yes sir.
Okay, ठीक है. Thank you very much. Now
Thank you sir.
Meet at Friday. Okay.
Yes sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much sir.